Table of Contents Chapter 1. 4. Introduction. 4. Chapter 2. 8. Historical background, the German Revolution of 1848. 8. Chapter 3. 11. The 48ers, who were they and why did they leave Germany? 11. Chapter 4. 14. The German migration to America, arrival and settlement. 14. Chapter 5. 18. German immigration waves and their impact on American society. 18. Chapter 6. 22. The Mennonite and Amish communities in America. 22. Chapter 7. 28. The German-American experience, contributions and challenges. 28. Chapter 8. 34. Conclusion. 34. Chapter 1. Introduction. The German migration to America during the 19th and 20th centuries is one of the largest and most significant population movements in modern history. Among the various waves of German immigrants were the 48ers, a group of political refugees who fled Germany following the failed revolution of 1848. These men and women sought refuge and freedom in America, where they played a significant role in shaping the country's social, cultural, and political landscape. The story of the 48ers is one of courage, determination, and resilience. They came to America with nothing but hope, leaving behind their homes, families, and everything they knew. However, their experiences in Germany and their political beliefs inspired them to seek a better life and create a new home in America. This article will explore the history and legacy of the 48ers and their contributions to the German migration to America. We will also discuss the factors that led to the German migration, including the political and economic conditions in Germany and the opportunities available in America. Additionally, we will examine the cultural and religious backgrounds of the German immigrants, particularly the Mennonite and Amish communities, and their impact on American society. Finally, we will discuss the challenges and contributions of German immigrants in America, including their involvement in politics, business, and the arts. The German migration to America is a complex and multifaceted story that has influenced the course of American history. The story of the 48ers and their experiences offers a unique perspective on the German-American experience and the broader themes of migration, identity, and belonging. The German migration to America is a rich and complex story that spans several centuries and encompasses a broad range of social, economic, and cultural factors. Germans have been coming to America since the colonial era, and by the mid-19th century, they had become one of the largest immigrant groups in the country. However, the period of the German migration that is perhaps the most interesting and significant is the mid-19th century, when the failed revolution of 1848 led to a wave of political refugees fleeing Germany for America. Among these refugees were the 48ers, a group of men and women who sought freedom, equality, and justice in America. The story of the 48ers is a story of political activism, social change, and personal sacrifice. These individuals were not content to simply accept the status quo in Germany, and they were willing to risk everything to create a better world for themselves and their families. Their experiences in Germany had taught them the value of democracy, human rights, and individual freedom, and they believed that these ideals could be realized in America. The political and economic conditions in Germany in the mid-19th century were ripe for revolution. The country was ruled by a patchwork of monarchies, and the people were increasingly discontented with their lack of political representation and economic opportunities. In 1848, a wave of popular uprisings swept across Germany, as people demanded constitutional reforms and greater democracy. However, these uprisings were ultimately crushed by the ruling elites, and many of the revolutionaries were forced to flee the country. The 48ers who came to America in the wake of the failed revolution were a diverse group of individuals, united by their commitment to democratic ideals and their desire for a better life. They included intellectuals, artists, journalists, and politicians, many of whom had been active in the revolution. They were joined by thousands of other Germans, who came to America for a variety of reasons, including economic opportunity, religious freedom, and the chance to start a new life. The German migration to America had a profound impact on the country's social, cultural, and political landscape. Germans brought with them a rich cultural heritage, including music, art, literature, and philosophy, which had a significant influence on American culture. They also brought with them a strong work ethic, entrepreneurial spirit, and a commitment to education, which helped to shape the country's economic and social institutions. The Mennonite and Amish communities in America are perhaps the most well-known examples of German cultural influence in America. These communities, which originated in Germany in the 16th century, have maintained their distinct cultural traditions and religious practices in America, despite facing numerous challenges and obstacles. There are four main groups of Amish and Mennonite communities in America, including the Old Order, the New Order, the Beachy Amish, and Amish Mennonites, each with their own unique traditions and practices. Despite facing significant challenges, German immigrants in America have made countless contributions to the country's culture, economy, and political life. They have played an important role in shaping the country's democratic institutions, participating in politics at all levels of government, and contributing to social and economic progress. They have also made significant contributions to the arts, including music, literature, and film, and have helped to shape American culture in countless ways. The German migration to America is a rich and complex story that spans several centuries and encompasses a broad range of social, economic, and cultural factors. Germans have been coming to America since the colonial era, and by the mid-19th century, they had become one of the largest immigrant groups in the country. However, the period of the German migration that is perhaps the most interesting and significant is the mid-19th century, when the failed revolution of 1848 led to a wave of political refugees fleeing Germany for America. Among these refugees were the 48ers, a group of men and women who sought freedom, equality, and justice in America. The story of the 48ers is a story of political activism, social change, and personal sacrifice. These individuals were not content to simply accept the status quo in Germany, and they were willing to risk everything to create a better world for themselves and their families. Their experiences in Germany had taught them the value of democracy, human rights, and individual freedom, and they believed that these ideals could be realized in America. The political and economic conditions in Germany in the mid-19th century were ripe for revolution. The country was ruled by a patchwork of monarchies, and the people were increasingly discontented with their lack of political representation and economic opportunities. In 1848, a wave of popular uprisings swept across Germany, as people demanded constitutional reforms and greater democracy. However, these uprisings were ultimately crushed by the ruling elites, and many of the revolutionaries were forced to flee the country. The 48ers who came to America in the wake of the failed revolution were a diverse group of individuals, united by their commitment to democratic ideals and their desire for a better life. They included intellectuals, artists, journalists, and politicians, many of whom had been active in the revolution. They were joined by thousands of other Germans, who came to America for a variety of reasons, including economic opportunity, religious freedom, and the chance to start a new life. The German migration to America had a profound impact on the country's social, cultural, and political landscape. Germans brought with them a rich cultural heritage, including music, art, literature, and philosophy, which had a significant influence on American culture. They also brought with them a strong work ethic, entrepreneurial spirit, and a commitment to education, which helped to shape the country's economic and social institutions. The Mennonite and Amish communities in America are perhaps the most well-known examples of German cultural influence in America. These communities, which originated in Germany in the 16th century, have maintained their distinct cultural traditions and religious practices in America, despite facing numerous challenges and obstacles. There are four main groups of Amish and Mennonite communities in America, including the Old Order, the New Order, the Beachy Amish, and Amish Mennonites, each with their own unique traditions and practices. Despite facing significant challenges, German immigrants in America have made countless contributions to the country's culture, economy, and political life. They have played an important role in shaping the country's democratic institutions, participating in politics at all levels of government, and contributing to social and economic progress. They have also made significant contributions to the arts, including music, literature, and film, and have helped to shape American culture in countless ways. Chapter 2: Historical Background. The German Revolution of 1848. The German Revolution of 1848 was a series of political uprisings and protests that swept across Germany in the wake of the February Revolution in France. The revolution was sparked by a combination of factors, including economic hardship, political repression, and demands for greater political representation and civil rights. At the time, Germany was not a unified country, but rather a patchwork of small states and territories, each with its own ruler and government. Many Germans were unhappy with the lack of political representation and the repressive policies of their local rulers. They were also struggling with economic hardship, as a series of crop failures and a trade slump had led to widespread unemployment and poverty. In February 1848, news of the revolution in France sparked protests and uprisings across Germany. The demands of the protesters varied, but many were calling for a constitution, greater political representation, and the abolition of serfdom. In some parts of Germany, the protesters succeeded in establishing provisional governments and drawing up constitutions. However, the revolution was short-lived, and by the summer of 1849, it had been largely crushed by the ruling elites. The reasons for the failure of the revolution are complex, but they include a lack of unity among the various revolutionary groups, the superior military power of the ruling elites, and the intervention of foreign powers. The failure of the revolution had a profound impact on German society and politics. Many of the revolutionaries were forced to flee the country, including some of the most prominent leaders of the movement. The government cracked down on dissent and established a network of secret police to monitor and suppress revolutionary activity. The ruling elites also tightened their grip on power, making it more difficult for ordinary Germans to participate in the political process. The aftermath of the revolution also had important implications for the German migration to America. Many of the 48ers, who were among the most committed and politically active revolutionaries, were forced to flee Germany and seek refuge in America. These individuals brought with them their experiences and ideals from the revolution, as well as their commitment to democracy, human rights, and individual freedom. The German Revolution of 1848 was a pivotal moment in German history, and it had important implications for the country's future development. Although the revolution ultimately failed, It helped to lay the groundwork for future democratic movements in Germany and contributed to the growth of civil society and the spread of liberal ideals. It also had a significant impact on the German migration to America, as thousands of Germans were forced to flee the country and seek refuge in a new land. The experiences and ideals of the 48ers continue to shape the German-American experience today, as they serve as a reminder of the importance of democracy, freedom, and human rights in both Germany and America. The German Revolution of 1848, also known as the March Revolution, was a series of political uprisings that swept across the German Confederation in 1848 and 1849. It was triggered by a variety of factors, including economic hardship, political repression, and a growing sense of national identity among the German people. The revolution was marked by widespread popular protests, mass demonstrations, and demands for political and social reforms. Historical background: the German Confederation was a loose federation of 39 independent states that was established in 1815 after the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte. The Confederation was dominated by Austria, which held the presidency of the Confederation, and Prussia, the second most powerful state. The Confederation was characterized by a highly decentralized political structure, with each state retaining a large degree of autonomy. In the years leading up to the revolution, Germany was experiencing a period of economic and social upheaval. The Industrial Revolution was transforming the German economy, creating new opportunities for entrepreneurs and capitalists, but also causing widespread economic hardship among the working classes. Many Germans were struggling to make ends meet, and there was a growing sense of discontent with the existing political and economic order. At the same time, Germany was also experiencing a growing sense of national identity. The Romantic movement, which had swept across Europe in the early 19th century, had inspired many Germans to rediscover their cultural heritage and assert their national identity. This was reflected in the growing popularity of German literature, music, and philosophy, as well as in the demand for political unity and national independence. The Revolution of 1848 The Revolution of 1848 began in the state of Baden, where a group of liberal intellectuals and politicians led by Friedrich Hecker and Gustav Struve called for a new constitution and a democratic government. The revolution quickly spread to other parts of Germany, including Berlin, where mass demonstrations and protests erupted in March 1848. The demands of the revolutionaries varied, but they generally called for greater political representation, civil liberties, and social reforms. Many also called for the unification of Germany under a single government. The revolution was particularly popular among the urban working classes, who saw it as an opportunity to improve their economic and social conditions. The response of the German Confederation was mixed. Some states, such as Prussia, quickly granted concessions to the revolutionaries, hoping to avoid further unrest. Others, such as Austria, responded with force, sending troops to suppress the uprisings. The Austrian government, in particular, was determined to maintain its dominant position in the Confederation and saw the revolution as a threat to its power. The revolutionaries were initially successful in securing some concessions from the German states. Many states granted new constitutions and expanded civil liberties, and some even established democratic governments. However, the revolution soon began to falter. The revolutionary movement was divided between moderate liberals, who sought incremental reforms, and radical Democrats, who demanded immediate and far-reaching change. The Austrian government was also determined to crush the revolution. In June 1848, Austrian forces under the command of Prince Windisgratz marched into Prague and brutally suppressed a rebellion by Czech nationalists. This sparked a wave of protests across Germany, and many liberals and radicals called for a united front against Austrian aggression. However, the revolutionaries were unable to unite behind a common program. The moderate liberals were wary of aligning themselves with the radical Democrats, whom they saw as a threat to their own power and influence. The revolutionaries were also unable to muster the resources and organization necessary to mount a successful resistance to the Austrian army. Chapter 3: The 48ers. Who were they and why did they leave Germany? The 48ers were a group of German political refugees who fled Germany following the failure of the 1848 revolution. They were predominantly liberal and democratic activists who had participated in the revolution and who, after its collapse, sought refuge in the United States. They were called 48ers because most of them arrived in the United States in 1848 or 1849. The 48ers were motivated by a variety of factors. Many had participated in the revolution and had been forced to flee Germany because of their political beliefs. Others had been persecuted for their involvement in liberal and democratic movements, or had been targeted by the authorities for their advocacy of social reform. Some of the 48ers were also motivated by economic reasons. The failure of the revolution had led to a period of political instability and economic uncertainty in Germany. Many Germans were struggling to make ends meet and saw emigration as a way to escape poverty and hardship. The majority of the 48ers were highly educated and politically active. They were writers, journalists, and artists who had been at the forefront of the revolutionary movement in Germany. They were also strongly influenced by the ideas of the Enlightenment and the Romantic movement, which had inspired a sense of nationalism and cultural identity among the German people. The 48ers were a diverse group, with different political beliefs and backgrounds. However, they shared a commitment to liberal democracy, civil rights, and social reform. They were also committed to the idea of a united Germany, free from the influence of foreign powers. The United States was an attractive destination for the 48ers. It was a country founded on the principles of liberty and democracy, and it offered the promise of economic opportunity and social mobility. Many of the 48ers settled in cities such as New York, Philadelphia, and St. Louis, where they established German-language newspapers, cultural organizations, and political clubs. The 48ers made significant contributions to American society. They played a key role in the abolitionist movement, advocating for the end of slavery and the extension of civil rights to African Americans. They also contributed to the development of American literature and culture, introducing new ideas and perspectives to American society. The 48ers also had a significant impact on German-American relations. They maintained strong ties to their homeland and continued to advocate for democratic reform in Germany. They were instrumental in shaping American policy towards Germany, promoting a policy of engagement and cooperation rather than confrontation and hostility. The 48ers had a significant impact on American politics and society. They brought with them a commitment to democratic values and social reform, which helped to shape American political discourse in the years following their arrival. One of the most notable contributions of the 48ers was their involvement in the abolitionist movement. Many of them were strongly opposed to slavery and believed that it was a violation of the principles of liberty and democracy that they had fought for in Germany. They were instrumental in organizing anti-slavery societies and advocating for the end of slavery. The 48ers were also involved in other social reform movements in the United States, such as the women's rights movement and the labor movement. They believed that all people should have equal rights and opportunities, regardless of their gender or social class. In addition to their political activism, the 48ers also contributed to American culture and intellectual life. They were writers, artists, and musicians who introduced new ideas and perspectives to American society. They established German-language newspapers, literary societies, and cultural organizations, which helped to preserve and promote German culture in the United States. The 48ers also had a significant impact on German-American relations. They maintained strong ties to their homeland and continued to advocate for democratic reform in Germany. They were instrumental in shaping American policy towards Germany, promoting a policy of engagement and cooperation rather than confrontation and hostility. The relationship between the 48ers and the American government was complex. On the one hand, the 48ers were welcomed by many Americans, who saw them as allies in the fight for democracy and social reform. On the other hand, some Americans were suspicious of the 48ers and saw them as a threat to American values and institutions. This suspicion was fueled by a number of factors, including anti-German sentiment that arose during World War I, and fears about the influence of radical political ideologies such as socialism and communism. Some Americans also saw the 48ers as a threat to the established social and political order, and feared that they would bring with them radical ideas and disruptive behavior. Despite these challenges, the 48ers remained committed to their ideals and continued to work for democratic reform and social justice in both the United States and Germany. Their legacy can still be seen in the vibrant German-American community that exists today, and in the ongoing efforts to promote democracy and human rights around the world. The story of the 48ers is also a testament to the power of individual courage and determination. These men and women were forced to leave behind their homes, families, and communities in search of a better life. They faced numerous challenges and obstacles along the way, including poverty, discrimination, and the constant threat of political repression. Yet despite these hardships, the 48ers refused to give up on their ideals. They remained committed to the cause of democracy and social justice, and were willing to sacrifice everything to achieve their goals. Their determination and perseverance continue to inspire people today, and serve as a reminder of the importance of standing up for what you believe in, even in the face of adversity. The legacy of the 48ers can also be seen in the ongoing struggles for democracy and human rights around the world. Their fight for political freedom and social justice helped to pave the way for other movements, such as the civil rights movement in the United States and the Arab Spring in the Middle East. Furthermore, the story of the 48ers serves as a reminder of the importance of embracing diversity and promoting tolerance. Despite their differences in language, culture, and background, the 48ers were able to come together in pursuit of a common goal. They were able to transcend their differences and work towards a shared vision of a more just and equitable society. In today's increasingly globalized world, it is more important than ever to embrace diversity and promote understanding between different cultures and communities. The example set by the 48ers can serve as a powerful inspiration for those who are working to build a more just and inclusive world. Chapter 4: The German Migration Settlement to America, Arrival and the German migration to America is one of the most significant waves of immigration in American history. Between 1820 and 1920, over 5 million Germans immigrated to the United States, making them one of the largest immigrant groups in the country. This migration had a profound impact on American society, shaping everything from politics and culture to the economy and social norms. The journey from Germany to America was long and difficult, often lasting several weeks or even months. Most immigrants traveled by ship, enduring harsh conditions and cramped quarters on the voyage across the Atlantic. Many suffered from seasickness, hunger, and disease, and some did not survive the journey. Upon arrival in America, German immigrants faced a new set of challenges. They often had little money and few resources, and had to rely on the support of friends, family, and fellow immigrants to establish themselves in their new country. They faced discrimination and hostility from some Americans, who viewed them as a threat to American values and institutions. Despite these challenges, German immigrants were able to establish thriving communities in America. They settled in cities and towns throughout the country, bringing with them their culture, traditions, and language. They established businesses, churches, and cultural organizations, and played an important role in the development of American industry and agriculture. German immigrants were also instrumental in shaping American culture and intellectual life. They were writers, artists, and musicians who introduced new ideas and perspectives to American society. They established German-language newspapers, literary societies, and cultural organizations, which helped to preserve and promote German culture in the United States. One of the most significant contributions of German immigrants was their impact on American politics. German immigrants were generally well-educated and politically active, and they played an important role in shaping American political discourse. They were involved in a variety of political movements, including the abolitionist movement, the women's rights movement, and the labor movement. They brought with them a commitment to democratic values and social reform, which helped to shape American politics in the years following their arrival. In addition to their political activism, German immigrants were also important contributors to the American economy. They were skilled craftsmen, farmers, and entrepreneurs who helped to build and grow American industries such as brewing, printing, and steel manufacturing. They brought with them new techniques and technologies, and helped to establish new industries that would shape the American economy for generations to come. The German migration to America was not without its challenges and difficulties, but it had a profound and lasting impact on American society. German immigrants brought with them their culture, traditions, and language, and played an important role in shaping American politics, culture, and economy. Today, the legacy of the German migration can be seen in the vibrant German-American communities that exist throughout the country, and in the ongoing efforts to promote diversity and tolerance in American society. The settlement of German immigrants in America was characterized by their distinct cultural practices and strong community ties. German immigrants established close-knit communities that preserved their traditions and allowed them to support one another. This was especially true in the early years of the migration, when language barriers and cultural differences made it difficult for Germans to assimilate into American society. One of the most important institutions in German-American communities was the German-language church. German immigrants were deeply religious, and the church played a central role in their lives. German-language churches provided a sense of community and belonging, and allowed immigrants to worship in a familiar language and cultural setting. German immigrants also established a variety of cultural organizations, such as singing societies, gymnastics clubs, and theater groups. These organizations provided a way for Germans to maintain their cultural traditions and to express themselves creatively. They also served as a way to build social connections and support networks, especially for recent immigrants who were still adjusting to life in America. German immigrants were also known for their love of food and drink, and German cuisine quickly became a part of American culinary culture. Germans introduced dishes such as sauerkraut, bratwurst, and beer to American cuisine, and established breweries and beer halls throughout the country. German food and drink remain popular in America to this day, and are a testament to the enduring legacy of German immigration. Despite their many contributions to American society, German immigrants faced discrimination and hostility from some Americans. They were often viewed as a threat to American values and institutions, and were subject to stereotypes and prejudices. This discrimination was especially acute during periods of political tension or economic hardship, when immigrants were blamed for problems in American society. German immigrants were also affected by changes in American immigration policy. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the U.S. government began to impose restrictions on immigration from certain countries, including Germany. These restrictions made it more difficult for Germans to immigrate to the United States, and limited the number of Germans who were able to establish themselves in the country. Despite these challenges, German immigrants continued to play an important role in American society throughout the 19th and 20th centuries. They were involved in a variety of political, cultural, and economic movements, and helped to shape American society in countless ways. Today, the legacy of German immigration can be seen in the vibrant German-American communities that exist throughout the country, and in the ongoing efforts to promote diversity and tolerance in American society. It is important to note that the German migration to America was not a homogeneous experience. Different waves of German immigrants brought with them different social and economic backgrounds, and faced different challenges in their attempts to establish themselves in America. For example, the early German immigrants who arrived in the mid-19th century were often from rural areas and had limited education. They faced significant challenges in adapting to urban life and in finding work that would allow them to support themselves and their families. Many of these immigrants settled in the Midwest and became farmers, while others worked in factories or as tradespeople. Later waves of German immigrants were often more educated and more affluent than their predecessors. They were more likely to settle in urban areas and to pursue professional careers. However, they still faced challenges in adapting to American culture and in overcoming stereotypes and prejudices that were directed against German immigrants. Despite these differences, German immigrants shared a common desire to build new lives in America and to preserve their cultural heritage. They brought with them a rich and diverse set of traditions, customs, and beliefs that continue to influence American culture today. It is also worth noting that the German migration to America was not a one-way street. Many German immigrants returned to Germany after a period of time in America, often bringing with them new ideas, technologies, and cultural influences. This exchange of ideas and influences helped to shape both American and German society, and had a lasting impact on the cultural and economic ties between the two countries. Today, German Americans continue to play an important role in American society. They are involved in a wide range of cultural, political, and economic activities, and their contributions to American society are celebrated and recognized in many different ways. Chapter 5: German Immigration Waves and Their Impact on American Society. German immigration to the United States occurred in multiple waves throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries. These waves were shaped by a variety of factors, including economic conditions in Germany, political instability, and changes in American immigration policy. Each wave of German immigrants had a unique impact on American society, shaping its culture, politics, and economy in important ways. The first wave of German immigration occurred in the mid-19th century, when political instability and economic hardship drove thousands of Germans to seek a better life in America. Many of these immigrants settled in the Midwest, where they established farming communities and contributed to the growth of the region's agricultural industry. They also brought with them a strong work ethic, a commitment to education, and a tradition of civic engagement that helped to shape American society. The second wave of German immigration occurred in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, as economic growth in the United States attracted a new wave of German immigrants who were more urban and educated than their predecessors. These immigrants settled in urban areas, where they became involved in a variety of professional and entrepreneurial endeavors. They helped to build America's industrial and financial sectors, and made significant contributions to the country's scientific and technological advancements. The impact of German immigration on American society was particularly evident in the cultural sphere. German immigrants brought with them a rich cultural heritage that included literature, music, art, and philosophy. They established German language schools, theaters, and newspapers that allowed them to maintain their cultural traditions and to participate in American society while retaining their distinct identity. German immigrants also had a profound impact on American cuisine, introducing a wide range of foods and beverages that continue to be enjoyed today. These include sausages, beer, pretzels, and various pastries, among others. German immigrants also helped to popularize the concept of the beer garden, which quickly became a staple of American social life. The impact of German immigration on American society can also be seen in the political sphere. German immigrants were active in a variety of political movements, including labor unions, socialist organizations, and reform movements. They helped to shape American politics by advocating for workers' rights, social justice, and democratic reforms. One of the most significant impacts of German immigration on American society was the creation of a distinct German-American identity. German immigrants established close-knit communities that preserved their cultural traditions and allowed them to support one another. They built social networks and institutions that allowed them to thrive in America while maintaining a strong sense of their German heritage. The impact of German immigration on American society was not limited to the cultural and political spheres. German immigrants also had a significant impact on the economy of the United States. They brought with them a variety of skills and expertise that helped to fuel America's economic growth. German immigrants played an important role in the development of American industry, particularly in the areas of manufacturing and engineering. They brought with them knowledge and expertise in fields such as metallurgy, mechanics, and chemistry, which they put to use in American factories and industries. German immigrants were instrumental in developing new technologies and techniques that helped to make American industry more efficient and productive. German immigrants also played a crucial role in the development of the American transportation system. Many German immigrants were involved in the construction of railroads and canals, which played a key role in opening up new territories and connecting the country's regions. German immigrants were also involved in the development of the automobile industry, helping to design and build early automobiles and engines. German immigrants also contributed to the growth of American agriculture, particularly in the Midwest. They brought with them knowledge and expertise in areas such as animal husbandry, crop rotation, and soil management, which helped to make American agriculture more productive and efficient. German immigrants also introduced new crops and livestock to American farmers, such as wheat, hops, and dairy cows, which helped to diversify American agriculture and make it more profitable. In addition to their contributions to the American economy, German immigrants also helped to shape American education. German immigrants placed a high value on education and established many German language schools in the United States. These schools emphasized the importance of education and helped to ensure that the children of German immigrants received a strong education that would prepare them for success in American society. German immigrants also had a significant impact on the arts in the United States. They brought with them a rich cultural heritage that included literature, music, and art. German immigrants helped to establish many cultural institutions in the United States, including museums, art galleries, and symphony orchestras. They also contributed to the development of American literature and music, with many German immigrants becoming successful writers, composers, and performers. The impact of German immigration on American society can still be seen today. German Americans continue to make significant contributions to American culture, economy, and politics. German Americans have served in important positions in government, including as presidents, governors, and members of Congress. They have also played a significant role in shaping American culture, particularly in areas such as cuisine, music, and the arts. In recent years, the German-American community has faced new challenges as a result of changing immigration policies and attitudes. Despite these challenges, German Americans continue to play an important role in American society, and their contributions to the country's culture, economy, and politics continue to be celebrated and valued. One area where the impact of German immigration can be seen is in the development of American beer culture. German immigrants brought with them a love of beer and a tradition of brewing that helped to transform the American beer industry. Prior to the arrival of German immigrants, beer in America was largely brewed by English and Irish immigrants, and was often of poor quality. German immigrants introduced new brewing techniques, such as lagering, which involved fermenting beer at low temperatures over a longer period of time. This process helped to produce a cleaner and crisper beer, which was much more popular with American consumers. German immigrants also brought with them new varieties of hops and barley, which helped to diversify the flavors of American beer. By the late 1800s, German immigrants had established a thriving beer industry in America, with breweries and beer gardens popping up in cities across the country. German-style beers, such as lagers and pilsners, became incredibly popular, and German-American brewers such as Adolphus Busch and Frederick Miller became household names. However, the impact of German immigration on American beer culture was not limited to the development of new brewing techniques and styles. German immigrants also played a significant role in shaping the social and cultural aspects of American beer drinking. In Germany, beer was often consumed in beer gardens, which were large outdoor spaces where people could gather to drink, eat, and socialize. German immigrants brought this tradition with them to the United States, and beer gardens became a popular gathering place for German-American communities. Beer gardens were often located in parks or other outdoor spaces, and were a place where families could come together to enjoy food, music, and of course, beer. The popularity of beer gardens helped to transform the way Americans thought about beer. Prior to the arrival of German immigrants, beer was often associated with rowdy saloons and drunkenness. But German-American beer gardens were seen as a more wholesome and family-friendly environment, where beer was enjoyed in moderation and in the company of loved ones. Today, the impact of German immigration on American beer culture can still be seen. Many of America's largest and most popular beer brands are owned by German companies, such as Anheuser-Busch InBev and Miller Coors. And while the popularity of craft beer has led to the development of many new brewing styles and techniques, German-style beers such as Pilsners and Hefeweizens remain incredibly popular. In addition to the development of American beer culture, German immigration also had a significant impact on American sports. German immigrants were instrumental in the development of gymnastics in the United States, and helped to establish many gymnastics clubs and societies. These clubs emphasized the importance of physical fitness and athleticism, and helped to promote gymnastics as a sport that was accessible to people of all ages and abilities. German immigrants were also involved in the development of other sports, such as baseball and basketball. Adolf Rupp, a German-American, was one of the most successful college basketball coaches in history, leading the University of Kentucky to 4 national championships. German Americans also played a significant role in the development of American soccer, with many German American players and coaches making important contributions to the sport. The impact of German immigration on American sports can still be seen today. Many American athletes and coaches are of German descent, and German American athletes continue to make important contributions to American sports. German American soccer player Christian Pulisic, for example, is considered one of the most promising young talents in the sport and has become a household name among American sports fans. Chapter 6: The Mennonite and Amish Communities in America. The Mennonite and Amish communities are 2 distinct groups of Anabaptist Christians who have lived in America for centuries. These groups originated in Switzerland in the 16th century and eventually migrated to North America in the 18th and 19th centuries, where they established distinct communities with unique customs and beliefs. The Mennonites and Amish share many similarities, including their Anabaptist beliefs and their rejection of many modern conveniences and technologies. However, there are also important differences between the 2 groups, particularly in their approach to dress, technology, and community life. The Mennonite community in America is a diverse group with a range of beliefs and practices. Many Mennonites are integrated into mainstream American society, while others live in tight-knit communities that adhere to traditional Mennonite beliefs and practices. Mennonites are known for their commitment to social justice and their emphasis on peace and nonviolence. One of the most distinctive features of Mennonite life is their plain dress. Mennonites typically dress modestly, with women wearing long dresses and head coverings and men wearing plain suits or work clothes. This plain dress is a symbol of their commitment to simplicity and humility, and serves as a reminder of their separation from the wider world. Mennonites are also known for their strong emphasis on community life. Many Mennonite communities have their own schools, churches, and social institutions, and Mennonites are encouraged to support one another through acts of service and mutual aid. Mennonites also place a strong emphasis on the importance of family and often have large families with many children. The Amish community in America is perhaps even more distinct than the Mennonite community. The Amish originated in Switzerland in the 16th century and migrated to America in the 18th and 19th centuries. Today, there are more than 300,000 Amish living in North America, with the largest populations in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Indiana. Like the Mennonites, the Amish are known for their rejection of modern conveniences and technology. Amish communities are often self-sufficient, with families living off the land and relying on horses and buggies for transportation. Amish communities also have strict rules about dress and behavior, with women wearing long dresses and head coverings and men wearing plain suits and beards. One of the most distinctive features of Amish life is their commitment to community and their rejection of individualism. Amish communities are tightly knit, with families often living in close proximity to one another and relying on each other for support. Amish communities also have their own schools, churches, and social institutions, which are often run by community members. The Amish are also known for their strict adherence to traditional gender roles. Women are typically responsible for household tasks, while men are responsible for farming and other manual labor. The Amish also place a strong emphasis on the importance of family and often have large families with many children. Despite their differences, both the Mennonite and Amish communities have had a significant impact on American society. These communities have contributed to American culture in a number of ways, including through their commitment to social justice, their emphasis on community life, and their rejection of modern technology and individualism. In recent years, the Mennonite and Amish communities have faced new challenges as they have been forced to confront the pressures of modern society. Many Mennonites and Amish have struggled to balance their commitment to tradition with the demands of a rapidly changing world, and some have chosen to leave their communities and integrate into mainstream American society. Despite these challenges, the Mennonite and Amish communities remain a vital part of American culture and continue to inspire admiration and curiosity from people around the world. One area where the Mennonite and Amish communities have had a significant impact is in sustainable agriculture. Many Mennonites and Amish are farmers, and they have developed unique approaches to agriculture that prioritize environmental sustainability and community well-being over profit and efficiency. For example, many Amish communities practice organic farming, using natural fertilizers and avoiding pesticides and other chemicals. They also use traditional farming methods, such as horse-drawn plows and hand tools, which are less damaging to the soil and require less energy than modern machinery. Mennonites and Amish farmers also place a strong emphasis on community-supported agriculture, CSA, which involves local consumers purchasing shares in a farm's harvest in advance. This allows farmers to receive a stable income while providing consumers with fresh, locally grown produce. In addition to their contributions to sustainable agriculture, the Mennonite and Amish communities have also played an important role in promoting peace and nonviolence in American society. Both groups are committed to pacifism and reject war and violence as solutions to conflict. During World War II, many Mennonites and Amish refused to participate in the war effort and instead chose to serve their communities through alternative means, such as serving as conscientious objectors or participating in relief work. Today, Mennonites and Amish continue to be active in promoting peace and nonviolence, with many participating in anti-war protests and advocating for disarmament and diplomacy as alternatives to military intervention. Another area where the Mennonite and Amish communities have had a significant impact is in social justice and human rights. Both groups have a strong tradition of advocating for the oppressed and marginalized, and have been active in a number of social justice movements throughout American history. For example, many Mennonites were involved in the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s, working alongside African American activists to challenge segregation and discrimination in American society. Mennonites also played a key role in the sanctuary movement of the 1980s, which provided shelter and support to Central American refugees fleeing violence and persecution. The Amish have also been active in social justice causes, particularly in the area of prison reform. Many Amish are involved in prison ministries, working to provide emotional and spiritual support to prisoners and advocating for reforms to the criminal justice system. Overall, the Mennonite and Amish communities in America offer a unique perspective on what it means to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. Their commitment to community, social justice, and environmental sustainability provides a powerful critique of modern American society and offers an alternative vision for the future. While the Mennonite and Amish communities may be seen as a curiosity by some, their contributions to American culture and society are significant and enduring. As America continues to grapple with issues of inequality, environmental degradation, and social injustice, the Mennonite and Amish communities offer a powerful example of what it means to live a life guided by compassion, simplicity, and the common good. In addition to their contributions to sustainable agriculture, peace and nonviolence, and social justice. The Mennonite and Amish communities have also had a significant impact on American culture and art. Mennonite and Amish communities have a rich tradition of folk art, which is often characterized by simplicity, functionalism, and religious themes. Examples of Mennonite and Amish folk art include quilts, pottery, woodworking, and basket weaving. Mennonite and Amish quilts, in particular, are highly valued for their intricate designs and expert craftsmanship. Many Mennonite and Amish women have passed down the art of quilting through generations, and quilts remain an important part of their cultural heritage. The Amish are also known for their distinctive style of furniture, which is characterized by clean lines, functionality, and durability. Amish furniture is often made from solid wood, and is highly prized for its quality and craftsmanship. Mennonite and Amish communities have also contributed to American literature and music. Many Mennonite and Amish authors have written about their experiences growing up in these communities, providing a unique perspective on American culture and society. One of the most well-known Mennonite authors is Rudy Weeb, who has written several novels about the Mennonite experience in Canada. Other notable Mennonite authors include Miriam Toews, Armin Weeb, and David Burgeon. The Amish, meanwhile, are known for their distinctive style of music, which is characterized by four-part harmony and a cappella singing. Amish music often has religious themes, and is an important part of their worship services. The Mennonite and Amish communities have also had a significant impact on American cuisine. Many Mennonite and Amish foods are characterized by their simplicity, functionality, and use of locally sourced ingredients. Examples of Mennonite and Amish cuisine include shoofly pie, wapie pies, and various types of sausages and cured meats. These foods are often made from scratch using traditional methods, and are highly valued for their quality and taste. In recent years, Mennonite and Amish foods have gained wider popularity in American culture, with many restaurants and food producers offering Mennonite and Amish-inspired dishes. Despite their contributions to American culture and society, the Mennonite and Amish communities continue to face challenges and controversies. One of the biggest challenges facing these communities is the tension between preserving their cultural traditions and assimilating into mainstream American society. Many Mennonites and Amish are committed to maintaining their distinctive way of life, which includes practices such as plain dress, limited technology use, and religious isolation from mainstream society. However, as American culture continues to evolve, these practices can sometimes come into conflict with broader societal norms and expectations. For example, Mennonite and Amish communities have sometimes faced legal challenges related to their educational practices. Many Mennonites and Amish prefer to educate their children in private schools or through homeschooling, but this can sometimes conflict with state regulations around compulsory education. In recent years, some Mennonite and Amish communities have also faced controversy around issues such as sexual abuse and the treatment of women. While these issues are not unique to Mennonite and Amish communities, they have highlighted the tension between preserving cultural traditions and addressing systemic problems within these communities. Despite these challenges, the Mennonite and Amish communities continue to play an important role in American culture and society. Their contributions to sustainable agriculture, peace and nonviolence, social justice, art, literature, music, and cuisine offer a unique and valuable perspective on what it means to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. As America continues to grapple with issues of inequality, environmental degradation, and social injustice, the Mennonite and Amish communities offer important lessons about the value of simplicity, community, and respect for the natural world. One of the most striking aspects of Mennonite and Amish culture is their commitment to simplicity and frugality. These communities place a high value on living within their means and avoiding excess, both as a matter of religious principle and practical necessity. This commitment to simplicity is reflected in many aspects of Mennonite and Amish life, including their plain dress, simple living spaces, and avoidance of modern technology. For example, many Mennonites and Amish prefer to use horse-drawn buggies instead of cars, and rely on manual labor and traditional farming methods instead of industrial agriculture. This commitment to simplicity is rooted in a deep respect for the natural world and a desire to live in harmony with the environment. Mennonites and Amish view the earth as a gift from God, and believe that it is their responsibility to care for it and use its resources responsibly. This commitment to sustainability and environmental stewardship has led many Mennonite and Amish communities to embrace alternative forms of agriculture, such as organic farming, permaculture, and agroforestry. These practices prioritize soil health, biodiversity, and long-term sustainability over short-term profits and industrial efficiency. In addition to their commitment to sustainability and simplicity, Mennonite and Amish communities also place a high value on community and mutual support. These communities are characterized by strong social ties, shared values, and a sense of common purpose. Mennonite and Amish communities often rely on each other for everything from childcare and elder care to economic support and spiritual guidance. This sense of mutual support is reflected in many aspects of their culture, including their emphasis on communal worship, shared meals, and cooperative work. This strong sense of community has helped Mennonite and Amish communities weather many challenges over the years, including economic downturns, natural disasters, and cultural changes. It has also helped them maintain their distinct way of life in the face of assimilation pressures and external threats. However, the close-knit nature of Mennonite and Amish communities can also create challenges and tensions. These communities can be insular and exclusive, and may be slow to accept outsiders or new ideas. In recent years, some Mennonite and Amish communities have also faced internal divisions and conflicts related to issues such as theology, leadership, and cultural change. These conflicts can be difficult to resolve, as they often involve deeply held beliefs and values. Despite these challenges, the Mennonite and Amish communities continue to thrive and make important contributions to American culture and society. Their commitment to sustainability, simplicity, community, and social justice offer valuable lessons for all Americans, as we seek to build a more just, equitable, and sustainable society. As we look to the future, it is clear that the challenges facing our planet and our society are significant and complex. However, the example of the Mennonite and Amish communities offers a glimmer of hope and a roadmap for a better way of life. By embracing simplicity, sustainability, and community, we can build a world that is more just, more equitable, and more respectful of the natural world. And by working together, we can create a future that is worthy of our highest aspirations and our deepest values. Chapter 7: The German-American Experience, Contributions and Challenges. The German-American experience is a rich and complex story that has played an important role in shaping the history and culture of the United States. From the earliest colonial settlements to the present day, German immigrants and their descendants have made significant contributions to American society in fields as diverse as science, art, politics, and business. One of the most significant contributions of German Americans has been in the field of science. Throughout American history, German scientists and inventors have made important discoveries and innovations in areas such as physics, chemistry, medicine, and engineering. Some of the most notable German-American scientists include Albert Einstein, Werner von Braun, and Maria Goeppert-Mayer, all of whom made groundbreaking contributions to their respective fields. In addition to their scientific achievements, German Americans have also made significant contributions to American culture and society through their art, music, and literature. German composers such as Johann Sebastian Bach and Ludwig van Beethoven have had a profound influence on American classical music, while writers such as Thomas Mann and Hermann Hesse have had a lasting impact on American literature and thought. In the realm of politics, German Americans have also played a prominent role in shaping the course of American history. German Americans have served in important political positions at all levels of government, from local mayors and city council members to senators, governors, and even presidents. Some of the most notable German American politicians include Karl Schurz, a prominent abolitionist and Union general during the Civil War, and Dwight D. Eisenhower, a five-star general and the 34th President of the United States. Despite their many contributions, however, German Americans have also faced significant challenges and obstacles over the years. In the early days of American history, German immigrants were often subject to discrimination and prejudice, as they were seen as outsiders and viewed with suspicion by many Americans. During the First World War, German Americans faced particular challenges, as anti-German sentiment swept across the country and many German Americans were accused of disloyalty and espionage. German American businesses and cultural institutions were often targeted, and many German Americans faced social ostracism and even violence. In more recent years, German Americans have also faced challenges related to their cultural identity and assimilation into mainstream American society. As with many immigrant groups, German Americans have had to navigate the tension between preserving their cultural heritage and integrating into American society. Some German Americans have chosen to embrace their cultural identity and celebrate their heritage through events such as Oktoberfest, while others have sought to assimilate into mainstream American culture and downplay their German heritage. Still, others have found a way to balance both, maintaining their cultural identity while also participating fully in American society. Overall, the German-American experience is a complex and multifaceted story that reflects the challenges and opportunities faced by all immigrant groups in the United States. While German Americans have made significant contributions to American society, they have also faced significant challenges and obstacles, from discrimination and prejudice to the tension between cultural preservation and assimilation. Today, German Americans continue to play an important role in American society, contributing to fields as diverse as science, art, politics, and business. Their story offers valuable lessons for all Americans, reminding us of the power of diversity, the importance of cultural heritage, and the challenges and rewards of building a more inclusive and equitable society. One of the ways in which German Americans have contributed to American society is through their entrepreneurship and business acumen. German immigrants brought with them a tradition of hard work and a strong work ethic, which helped them succeed in the competitive world of American business. German Americans have founded many successful businesses in the United States, including major corporations such as Bayer, Siemens, and Allianz. German American entrepreneurs have also been at the forefront of innovation and technological advancement, with German Americans founding companies such as IBM, Dell, and Intel. German Americans have also had a significant impact on American agriculture. Many German immigrants settled in rural areas and brought with them advanced farming techniques and agricultural knowledge. German American farmers were instrumental in the development of the American dairy industry, and many German American families continue to operate successful dairy farms to this day. German Americans have also contributed to American society through their philanthropy and civic engagement. Many German American families have established charitable foundations and donated generously to causes ranging from education to the arts to medical research. German Americans have also been active in civic and political organizations, working to promote social justice and political reform. Despite their many contributions, German Americans have faced challenges and struggles throughout American history. During World War II, German Americans faced discrimination and suspicion as the United States fought against Nazi Germany. Many German American families were forced to change their last names or hide their German heritage in order to avoid discrimination and persecution. Today, German Americans continue to face challenges related to their cultural identity and assimilation into American society. In some cases, German Americans may feel pressure to downplay their cultural heritage in order to fit in with mainstream American culture. In other cases, German Americans may feel that their cultural identity is under threat in the face of changing demographics and cultural trends. However, many German Americans continue to embrace their cultural heritage and celebrate their roots. German American cultural organizations and festivals are held throughout the United States, providing a way for German Americans to connect with their heritage and share it with others. In recent years, German Americans have also been active in promoting cultural exchange and cooperation between the United States and Germany. The German-American Fulbright program, for example, provides scholarships for American students to study in Germany and for German students to study in the United States, fostering mutual understanding and cultural exchange between the two countries. Overall, the German-American experience is a rich and complex story that reflects the challenges and opportunities faced by all immigrant groups in the United States. German Americans have made significant contributions to American society in fields as diverse as science, art, politics, and business, but they have also faced significant challenges and obstacles related to discrimination, cultural identity, and assimilation. Today, German Americans continue to play an important role in American society, contributing to a diverse and dynamic cultural landscape that reflects the richness and complexity of the American experience. The German-American story is a testament to the power of diversity and the importance of cultural heritage in shaping the identity and character of the United States. One of the notable contributions of German Americans is their impact on American education. German immigrants brought with them a deep appreciation for education and a strong commitment to academic excellence. Many German immigrants established schools and universities throughout the United States, bringing with them the progressive ideas and innovative teaching methods that were already well established in Germany. German Americans played a key role in the development of the American public school system, which was modeled in part on the German education system. German American educators helped to develop new teaching methods, including the use of textbooks and the establishment of vocational education programs. German Americans were also instrumental in the development of higher education in the United States. German American scholars and educators founded many of the country's leading universities, including Johns Hopkins University, the University of Chicago, and Cornell University. German American scholars and scientists have also made significant contributions to American scientific research and innovation. German American scientists and researchers have played a key role in developing new technologies and advancing scientific knowledge in fields ranging from physics to medicine. German Americans have also had a significant impact on American literature, art, and culture. German American writers and artists have produced many influential works that have shaped American culture, including the poetry of Walt Whitman, the novels of Herman Melville and Thomas Mann, and the paintings of Edward Hopper. German-American cultural traditions have also left a lasting impact on American society. German Americans have introduced many popular cultural practices and traditions to American society, including Oktoberfest celebrations, Christmas markets, and traditional German cuisine such as sausages, beer, and pretzels. Despite their many contributions, German Americans have also faced challenges and setbacks over the years. In the early 20th century, German Americans faced significant discrimination and persecution as the United States entered World War I. Many German Americans were targeted by the government and the public, and German language and culture were often suppressed. During World War II, German Americans once again faced discrimination and suspicion as the United States fought against Nazi Germany. Many German Americans were labeled as enemy aliens and subjected to surveillance and internment. Today, German Americans continue to face challenges related to their cultural identity and place in American society. In some cases, German Americans may feel pressure to assimilate and downplay their cultural heritage in order to fit in with mainstream American culture. In other cases, German Americans may feel that their cultural identity is under threat in the face of changing demographics and cultural trends. However, German Americans continue to celebrate and embrace their cultural heritage, and German American cultural organizations and festivals continue to thrive throughout the United States. German American businesses, educational institutions, and cultural institutions continue to play an important role in American society, reflecting the enduring contributions and legacy of German Americans to the American experience. Despite these challenges, German Americans continue to play an important role in shaping the identity and character of the United States, and their contributions to American society are a testament to the power of diversity and the importance of cultural heritage in shaping the American experience. One notable aspect of the German-American experience is the role that religion has played in shaping the identity and culture of German Americans. German immigrants brought with them a rich religious heritage that has left a lasting impact on American society. The Protestant Reformation, which began in Germany in the early 16th century, had a profound impact on German religious and cultural traditions. Many German immigrants to the United States were members of Lutheran or other Protestant denominations, and their religious beliefs and practices were often an important part of their cultural identity. In addition to Lutherans, German immigrants also included many Catholics, Mennonites, and members of other religious groups. These groups often formed close-knit communities based around their religious traditions, providing support and a sense of belonging for German immigrants as they adjusted to life in a new country. German-American churches and religious institutions have played an important role in the development of American religious life. German-American churches have been instrumental in establishing many social welfare programs and community outreach initiatives, reflecting the strong emphasis on social responsibility and community service that is a hallmark of German religious traditions. German-American churches have also been centers of cultural and social activity, providing a venue for German-American cultural events and celebrations. German-American churches often have choirs and other musical groups, reflecting the important role that music plays in German religious and cultural traditions. In addition to their religious and cultural contributions, German Americans have also had a significant impact on American politics and government. German Americans have been active in American politics since the early days of the country, with many German Americans serving in public office at the local, state, and national levels. German Americans have also played a key role in shaping American political and social movements. German Americans were among the leading figures in the labor movement, with many German American labor leaders playing a key role in the establishment of labor unions and worker protections. German Americans have also been active in social and political reform movements, including the women's suffrage movement, the civil rights movement, and the anti-war movement. German American activists and leaders have been instrumental in advancing social justice and human rights in the United States, reflecting the strong commitment to social responsibility and activism that is a hallmark of German cultural traditions. Despite the many contributions of German Americans to American society, German American identity and culture have also faced challenges and obstacles over the years. In the early 20th century, German Americans faced significant discrimination and persecution as the United States entered World War I. German Americans were often targeted by the government and the public, and German language and culture were often suppressed. During World War II, German Americans once again faced discrimination and suspicion as the United States fought against Nazi Germany. Many German Americans were labeled as enemy aliens and subjected to surveillance and internment. Today, German Americans continue to face challenges related to their cultural identity and place in American society. In some cases, German Americans may feel pressure to assimilate and downplay their cultural heritage in order to fit in with mainstream American culture. In other cases, German Americans may feel that their cultural identity is under threat in the face of changing demographics and cultural trends. However, German Americans continue to celebrate and embrace their cultural heritage, and German American cultural organizations and festivals continue to thrive throughout the United States. German American businesses, educational institutions, and cultural institutions continue to play an important role in American society, reflecting the enduring contributions and legacy of German Americans to the American experience. Chapter 8 Conclusion. In conclusion, the German American experience is a fascinating and complex story that has had a significant impact on American society and culture. From the early colonial period to the present day, German Americans have made significant contributions to American life in fields as diverse as religion, politics, business, culture, and social justice. German immigration waves have left a lasting impact on American society, shaping American culture in ways that are often overlooked or taken for granted. From the Christmas tree to Oktoberfest, German traditions have become a part of the American cultural landscape, reflecting the enduring influence of German culture on American life. At the same time, German Americans have faced significant challenges and obstacles related to discrimination, cultural identity, and assimilation. German Americans have been subjected to suspicion, prejudice, and persecution during times of war and political upheaval, and they have often struggled to maintain their cultural identity in the face of pressure to assimilate and conform to mainstream American culture. Despite these challenges, German Americans have continued to celebrate and embrace their cultural heritage, forming close-knit communities and cultural organizations that have helped to preserve and promote German traditions in the United States. German American businesses, educational institutions, and cultural institutions continue to thrive in the United States, reflecting the enduring contributions and legacy of German Americans to the American experience. The German American experience also highlights the ongoing challenges and opportunities faced by all immigrant groups in the United States. Immigration has always been a defining feature of American life, shaping American culture and society in ways that are both profound and complex. As the United States continues to grapple with issues related to immigration and cultural diversity, the German American experience provides a valuable perspective on the challenges and opportunities facing immigrant communities in the United States. By understanding the complexities and nuances of the German-American experience, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the diverse and vibrant mosaic of American life, and work towards building a more inclusive and equitable society for all. Furthermore, the German-American experience also highlights the importance of recognizing and valuing cultural diversity in the United States. German Americans have made significant contributions to American culture and society precisely because of their unique cultural heritage and traditions. In a time when diversity and inclusion are increasingly important values in American society, it is crucial to recognize and celebrate the contributions of all immigrant groups, including German Americans. By embracing and valuing cultural diversity, we can work towards building a more vibrant, dynamic, and equitable society that is truly representative of the rich tapestry of American life. Moreover, the German-American experience also underscores the importance of preserving and promoting cultural heritage and traditions in the United States. German Americans have maintained strong ties to their cultural heritage, passing on their traditions, values, and language from generation to generation. By preserving and promoting cultural heritage and traditions, we can ensure that diverse cultural traditions continue to thrive in the United States, enriching American culture and society in the process. Cultural institutions, museums, and educational programs can all play a critical role in preserving and promoting cultural heritage and traditions, helping to ensure that these traditions continue to be passed on to future generations of Americans. In summary, the German-American experience is a rich and complex story that highlights the challenges and opportunities facing immigrant communities in the United States. By understanding the contributions and challenges faced by German Americans throughout history, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the diverse and vibrant mosaic of American life. Moreover, by embracing cultural diversity and valuing cultural heritage and traditions, we can work towards building a more inclusive and equitable society that truly reflects the rich and diverse tapestry of American life.